Anyway, right, we'll go to the last one now, which is my ugly point. And this is one I noticed no one else seems to really have clued in on. What people are really failing to do at the moment, Maui, is this. They haven't thought about what the world's going to be like once we actually get all of these Rostermania changes into effect. People keep thinking that the last 3 or 4 months is the form guide for the next one. So in the same way as you would say, like, you know, big can be top 5, but I was like, the main reason they can't isn't even about big. It's about look at all these teams that are going to upgrade essentially and potentially go for the top spot. People keep forgetting, because people like G2 and Vitality, even to some degree FaZe, because they're gambling to go for broke and try to go to the top, any team that didn't do a move has to be fucking really like nailed down. So for example, if you're Heroic or you're Gambit, I get why you didn't make a move. The one I can't, and this is my point for ugly, and this, I've purposely put it as ugly, not bad, which is, what the fuck is NiP's position after this Rostermania? NiP's position was they just got Essa tag, that's it. Now listen, that's better than having Linus, but the idea this NiP, like, you look at it on paper, what reason is there why this would be a top 5 team in the world? There isn't really. Like, realistically, I think, no joke, this lineup is going to be like the 9th best team in Counter-Strike or something. Like, this looks like an also-ran team. Like, even if Device, by the way, goes back to, like, you know, 1.35 rating every event, that ain't going to be enough to win your tournaments with this lineup of players, because, like I say, look at the teams. Even if G2 doesn't work out, even if Rops isn't that great on Faith, well, you know Vitality's better. You know, like, there's too many teams out there. I feel like people got too used to the end of the LAN circuit where it was a bit sort of like light at the top end. It was basically Na'Vi and a bunch of dead teams. And they're forgetting that, like, everyone's going hard as fuck for Q1 of 2022. So I think NiP's positioned themselves terribly, personally. I don't really see, like, for me, they and the core of the lineup's played together all this time and they still haven't got it together. Like, I think this is a team that's a bit lost. I think they're going to be underwhelming this year, mate.
I think NiP's biggest problem to me in the end of 2021 was their structure, or the way their style, especially for T sides. And what really, so they got rid of, or they didn't get rid of, but they moved Threat out of the coaching role to some kind of like tactical, like I forgot his exact position, but it's something like he's going to be behind the scenes working on strats or something like that. But they need either, in my eyes, a new IGL, or like, and Hampus can still stay as a player, or a coach that's just going to hammer Hampus and change whatever he's doing, because their T sides are just awful. They're just super discombobulated. It's just kind of random defaults and people individually peaking in places. It looks incredibly messy. And what pains me is that I almost feel like they just need a new IGL, because everything has kind of indicated to me from interviews with Hampus that he kind of has these like sociopathic tendencies where he works in absolutes like way too frequently and just kind of.
In what way? Give us an example. What are you thinking of when you say that?
Well, like, okay, so when he was on, I think HLTV confirmed, he said that thing about like, oh, Ancient, all you have to do is go B. Like, oh, the reason we lost that game is because we didn't go B enough. And if this team would have gone B more, they would have won. And it's like, okay, that just feels like the most like you just
a bit reductive, yeah, sure.
It's super reductive, and I don't really know if Hampus has the capability to change. He's not like Nifty, I'll say that.
It's just, here's the thing. I know you were using hyperbole. Look, I can't complain on a show about people using, like, you know, fucking putting a bit of mustard on the hot dog. But I will just say, like, it's the way you're making it sound like the beginning of fucking the original Blade Runner movie, and all you're doing is asking Hampus questions like, how would you approach the T side on Inch? And he goes, just go B. And he goes, definitely a replicant, 100% replicant. Like, why is that the test? What the fuck? Like, okay, fair enough.
Yeah, but I would just probably at this point replace Plopsky with an in-game leader. I don't know who you would get. Like, it almost feels it's worth it in some way to maybe just get Golden or MSL at this point. Like, you can't really see this NIP roster matching up to what everybody else has been doing, with everybody making these blockbuster moves.
Oh, if they bring in Golden, I'll be sick. God,
I don't know. MSL would probably be better in my eyes, though.
Yeah, well, I mean, look, to Duncan's point about where this NiP team is, and again, I don't have any particularly strong feelings about it. It's like, there's big question marks for me going into this year, because, everyone else is leveling up their game. NiP were the ones at the end of the year that were making the big signings. They were trying to get it together to go into the major. Didn't quite work out, but I still think their underperformance was predicated on Rez being pretty poor at that event. I think if he'd been a bit better, who knows? But now you've got these question marks. What's going on with Device? There's reports he's trying to leave and get back to Astralis, and that he doesn't have any faith in the project, and he's actually pretty despondent. You've got Esatag. You've just signed. Like, I don't understand. Like, this guy just joins the team and within 30 days...
He's like the king of the fucking market, isn't he? How is he getting all these deals?
Yeah, but he gets all the deals and then he goes and it's dead, though. It's dead. He just comes in and the team dies. And then obviously, yeah, you know, I rate Rez. Plopsky I've always given a pass to. But yeah, there are problems. The stats don't lie. The T sides are terrible. They could definitely get an upgrade from Plopsky. You know, definitely get a better support player in for him. So, and maybe an IGL like Maui suggests. So yeah, I think it's going to be tough for NIP to stay in the top 5, honestly, which is crazy when you consider, you know, I think they got up to number 2. In the world at one point just prior to the major. So they need to have a think about what they want to do and what their vision's going to be, because, yeah, Hampus, for me, Maui, is a guy that usually when an IGL talks, you end up having more respect for them. You see things from their perspective. The more interviews I've listened to with Hampus, I'm like, oh my God, you've made me look like a fucking idiot, mate. Because I've been saying you're actually low-key a good IGL for ages. And I don't know. Every time he talks, I think, what the fuck are you babbling about?
Yeah.
You say that, though, but what if now he comes out and he's like, we have to understand, Richard, through new experiences in an IP.
I know.
Growing into a new paradigm.
Hampus needs to grow into a new paradigm. He should take whatever he's been fucking huffing. You should go do that, Hampus. Like, here's a new paradigm for you. Get a fucking T-side going. Ridiculous.
Want to see more cool, funny, interesting clips based on topics from my content? Well, subscribe to this channel then, or, you know, be a pleb and don't.